Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is smile. S-M-I-L-E.
Really?
You bet your life! The more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America present Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. Folks, it's another big night on You Bet Your Life. Later in this program, we're going to bring you exciting news about the new 1953 Plymouth, the first truly balanced car in the low-priced field. And now, here he is, the one, the only...
You know who that is? That's me. This is the way you have to smile on television. It's like phenomenon. It just occurred to me. Well, here I am again with $1,500 for one of our couples.
Groucho, just before we went on the air...
You look just the same now as you did a minute ago.
Groucho, just before we went on the air...
Aren't you sick of saying that?
Our studio audience selected a fellow by the name of Mr. John Martin, who works for an employment bureau, and his partner is a housewife, Mrs. Morris Collins. Folks, come on in to meet Groucho Marx, please.
Well, how do you do? How do you do? Welcome. Welcome to You Bet Your Wife. Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and you'll divide $100. It's a common word, something you always have with you. Mrs. Collins and John Martin. Mrs. Collins, are you related to Tom?
No.
Must be pretty sick of that joke, eh? Where are you from, Mrs. Collins?
Quincy, Massachusetts.
And what is your hometown, Mr. Martin?
Well, I'm a native Angelino. Was born in the Green Meadows district.
Green Meadows?
Out by the oil wells.
Oh. Were you born near a sump pump? I don't know what a sump pump is, really. It's something you have in the cellar, I think, that floods usually, and you have to send for the plumber. What is your first name, Mrs. Collins?
Aida, but I prefer Ada.
You prefer Ada?
Yes.
Ada from Decatur?
Just Ada.
No, I think I like Aida better. It's a very pretty name, you know. Where'd you get that name?
Well,
how'd you get that name?
My father was a lover of operas, and he named me after his favorite opera, Aida.
Oh, well, you should be happy he wasn't crazy about the Barber of Seville. What's your husband's name?
Maurice, but I prefer Morris.
Uh-huh. Well, does he know that you prefer Morris?
I call him Morris.
Well, how did you two get together?
Well,
Was he in a Maurice chair?
No, I really met him in the cellar of my home.
Now you're talking.
He was helping the plumber install the steam heat in my mother's home.
Oh, and you started warming up to each other right away. Well, did you marry the steam fitter immediately, or did you wait a little while?
I waited a while.
Well, that's all right, as long as you had a good fire going in the furnace. How long did you wait? 6 months?
16 years.
16 years?
Yes.
I didn't know you could bank a furnace that long. Now, what is it you do? I forget, Mr. Martin.
I'm a personnel counselor at Mutual Employers Association.
Oh, well, that sounds pretty involved. What kind of an outfit is that? Tell us something about it.
Well, it's an association of employers to secure personnel for medium and small-sized firms.
Could you help me find a secretary?
No, I couldn't.
You mean you've spoken to a few of my former secretaries? It's a lie. Every word of it.
I mean that you'd have to become a member of the association.
So, well, let's say I was a member. How do you proceed in getting me a secretary?
Well, the secretary would come into the office and be greeted by our receptionist. And
what does the receptionist look like?
She's a beautiful redhead.
Well, let's skip the secretary and just send me the receptionist. I'd like to go on talking to you, but in just 1 minute you're going to play You Bet Your Life for a chance at the $1,500 question. Now, before we proceed, I have a note here I'd like to read. It says there are many fighting men in Korea and in the hospitals in the Far East who will be forgotten this Christmas because they have no family or folks back home. Here's how you can play Santa Claus with these boys. Mail a Christmas present or send a donation to Give a Lift with a Gift in care of the Los Angeles Junior Chamber of Commerce. They'll fly your gift over to Korea. I think this is a great idea. Let's all do it right away. It isn't too late. Send it in care of the Los Angeles Junior Chamber of Commerce. All right, now let's see how you work together as a team. Fenneman, would you mind explaining the rules to these young couple?
All right. You bet as much of your $20 as you want on each of 4 questions, and the couple that earns the most money gets a chance at the $1,500 DeSoto Plymouth question later on in the show.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. Out of our list of 20 categories, you selected number 2, characters from plays by William Shakespeare. Here's your first question. How much will you bet?
Will 17 do?
I think that'll be...
$17. The Montagues and the Capulets have a feud in what Shakespearean play?
Romeo and Juliet.
Romeo and Juliet is right.
Off to a good start. You have $37.
Now, how much of your 17's $37 you're going to try for on this one?
34, 35.
Talk on.
Anything you like. 35 will do.
$35. Othello's wife was smothered to death. What was her name?
Yeah.
Othello's wife.
Desdemona.
Desdemona, you got in right on the bell.
You now have $72.
And I'm very happy about that because I knew you had it on the tip of your tongue. You just couldn't get it out. Let's see your tongue. Part of it is still hanging on there. Now, here's your third question. How much of the $72 are you going to risk this time?
Let's try,
$72. Come on.
70.
Time's a wasting.
$70.
What was the name of the husband in The Taming of the Shrew?
I can't think of that one.
No, I'm sorry. It's Petruchio.
You now have $2.
Well, you still have a chance to beat the other couples. How much of the $2 are you going to bet?
Bet it all.
Bet it all. All right. Puck, Oberon, and Titania are characters from what play?
Midsummer Night's Dream.
That's right. Midsummer Night's Dream.
Well, they wound up with $4, Groucho.
You're not through yet. Nobody leaves here with $4. I'll give you one more question for $21, which will give you a total of $25. Are you ready? What animal do you associate with Buffalo Bill?
Buffalo.
The bill is right. Buffalo Bill. Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
And now, Groucho, here's our next contestant, Mr.
Plymouth. That is Peters. Say, Fenneman, wait till you see her.
Who?
The new 53 Plymouth. Tomorrow's the day, you know. And, boy, that car's going to make history. Why, it's...
Yes. But, Mr. Peters, the question...
No question about it. The new 53 Plymouth is a new kind of low-priced car. Nothing else like it on the road. Looks different, rides different. It's built different. And the Plymouth engine stepped up to 100 horsepower.
Oh, really, Mr. Peters, we're trying right now.
No good trying now. You got to wait till tomorrow. But then, oh, baby, wait till you see the sensational new...
Mr. Peters, suppose we just walk over
No, don't walk. Run to your DeSoto Plymouth dealers tomorrow. Bring your wife, your kids, your fountain pen.
Fountain pen?
Sure. Once you meet the new Plymouth, it's easy as pie to enter the big $25,000 contest. Why, they're giving away 6 new 53 Plymouths and hundreds of cash prizes. Get your entry blank from your DeSoto Plymouth dealer, but make sure it's mailed before next Monday midnight.
Mr. Peters, are you a contestant on You Bet Your Life, or aren't you?
A contestant? Heck no. Just want to tell the world about the important new 53 Plymouth. Well, thanks for the use of your mic, Mr. Fenneman. And don't forget, everybody, meet the new Plymouth tomorrow.
Groucho, we invited some lady cab drivers to the program tonight, and just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Miss Jean Fleurichamp. Her partner is an unusual schoolboy, Mr. Walter Plummer. Folks, would you please come in and meet Groucho Marx?
Welcome, youngsters, to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you always have with you. Miss Jean Florichamp, is that the way you pronounce it? Florichamp? And Mr. Walter Plummer, eh? Jean, you're a cab driver?
Yes, I am.
Yellow?
No.
No?
No.
What color is your cab?
Well, it's yellow, but I'm a very brave person, really.
Oh. I know it isn't polite to ask a woman her age, so how old were you when you started driving a cab?
I was 23.
I see. And how long have you been driving?
Well, Groucho, we don't count the years of experience in years. We count it in mileage.
Really? You don't look as though you'd gone over 5,000 miles. Unless, of course, you're using retreads. I don't know. How old are you, Jean?
I'm 31.
31. Well, you don't look it, huh? How old are you, Mr. Plummer?
13.
13, huh? Where do you live?
Claremont.
Claremont. Where is Claremont?
Oh, about 5 miles north of Pomona.
Where's Pomona?
Oh, well, that's where they have the county fair each year, the Los Angeles County Fair. It's pretty well known for that.
It is, huh? Were you on exhibition there? Now then, precisely where is Claremont?
4 miles north of Pomona.
You just said it was 5 miles. Apparently Claremont is a fast little place. At the present rate, it's going a mile a minute. What sort of work does your father do, Walter?
He's an electrician out at Kaiser's steel mill.
And your last name is Plummer?
Mm-hmm.
And your father's electrician? Is your
Yes.
father a plumber, too, or is he just an electrician?
Well, he's a plumber, too.
Oh, I see. Well, after all, some plumbers are electricians. Last time I got a bill from a plumber, I certainly got a shock. And that's no hokum either, huh? Well, let's talk about your work, Jean. Isn't it unusual for a woman to be driving a Yella?
No.
You think women are more skillful drivers than men?
Yes, I think they're more courteous, and yes, I think they're better drivers.
Mm-hmm. Why do you say that?
Well, because I'm a woman.
I guess they are more skillful at that. They have to be to get a car in the garage sideways. Now, Mr. Plummer, what do the kids call you by the way? They don't call you Mr. Plummer, do they?
I've got a sort of nicknames. They mostly call me Terry, but they call me Turpentine Terry, Terry and the Pirates, and Turkey Terry, and all kinds of names.
Turkey Terry? That's just around Thanksgiving they call you. Why do they call you Turpentine Terry?
Don't ask me.
Well, I'll ask you. Why do they call him Turpentine Terry?
Oh, my.
Well, that's a good answer, too. Now, where does the Terry come from? I thought your middle name was Walter.
Well, my middle name is Terrence, and it's taken from that.
Oh, I see. Well, I'll call you what the other kids call you, Turpentine Terry, eh? Is that all right with you? Now, do you have any hobbies, Terry?
Oh, I like to play football and baseball and basketball, and I collect stamps. And
Mm-hmm. Well, you sound like a typical red-blooded American boy. Do you have any other hobbies?
oh, I like to cook.
What was that?
I like to cook.
I think this red-blooded American boy is going to pot. What do you mean you like to cook? Are you a good cook?
Well, I try.
What makes you think you can cook?
Well, I won 2 blue ribbons out at the fair this year for cakes.
Oh, that's what you were doing at the fair? What kind of cakes? Hot cakes?
No, one was sponge cake and one was chocolate angel food cake.
Well, my congratulations, Terry. What is your ambition? Would you like to be a chef someday?
Well, I'd like to be a chef in a big hotel like the Waldorf Astoria or something like that, or a chef on television or something like that.
Just think, someday the Waldorf will feature on its menu. Veal cutlet a la Turpentine Terry. Well, it's time to stop talking and start winning some money. You're going to play You Bet Your Life for a chance at the $1,500 question. Terry, if you win all that money, you'll feel just like I do since I got my new DeSoto. I got it last week, and I'm crazy about it. I really am. Now, you just beat our other couples. That's all you have to do.
Our first couple won $4. The secret word is smile.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected first and middle names of famous women. I'll give you the initials, and you tell me what they stand for. Here's your first question. How much will you bet? Now, talk it over between you.
17? Good enough? Mm-hmm.
$17? M.B. Eddy was the founder of the Christian Science Church. What did the initials stand for?
Mary Baker?
That's right. Mary Baker.
You're off to a good start. You have $37.
Remember, you're going for $1,500 tonight. Now, how much of your $37 will you bet on your second question?
36. Okay. 36?
Can't hear you.
36 again.
Okay. C.J. Bond was a famous songwriter. What do the initials stand for?
Carrie Jacob.
That's right. Carrie Jacob is right.
You've now climbed to $73.
Here's your third question. How much of the 73 will you try?
70.
H.P. Stowe, S-T-O-W-E, wrote a famous book. What do the initials stand for? Talk it over.
No, I don't think I know.
I'm sorry. It's an easy one, but you're just nervous. It's Harriet Beecher.
Oh.
Harriet Beecher Stowe.
You now
All right.
have $3.
You now have $3, so don't be discouraged. You still have a chance to beat the other couples. How much are you going to bet?
3, we might as well.
Okay. E.B. Browning was a famous poetess. What do the initials stand for?
Elizabeth Barrett.
Elizabeth Barrett is right.
And you wind up with $6.
I'll give you one more question. Get this right, and we'll bring the total up to 25. Are you ready?
Yes.
Who was buried in Grant's tomb?
Oh, Grant.
Mrs. Grant is right.
Groucho, just before we went on the air, we selected Mrs. Christina Kelly and Mrs. Amelia Craig for reasons which I'm sure you'll discover when you meet these ladies. So, ladies, would you come out and meet Groucho Marx?
Welcome, girls, with the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you always have with you. Mrs. Christina Kelly and Mrs. Amelia Craig. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Fenneman sounded a little mysterious when he introduced you. Apparently, I'm supposed to find out something surprising about you well, I'll get it if I have to sweat it out of you, huh? Now, Kelly, where were you on the night of June 12, 1922?
I don't remember.
You don't, eh? Well, I can understand that. I don't even know where I was last night. How old are you, Kelly?
63 years old.
You expect me to believe that? Where are you from, Kelly?
I was born in Denmark.
You were born in Denmark with a name like Kelly? You'll get 20 years for that one. Something is certainly rotten in Denmark. I'd better try and break down the other one, I think. Craig, that's a Scotch name. How old are you?
63.
You're both 63, eh?
Yes.
You got together on your stories, eh? Well, you can't outwit me. I wasn't born yesterday either, you know. Couple of Eastern mobsters if I ever saw one. What's your racket, kids? Now, come clean now. Are you one of the extortion mob that's charging $1.50 for a haircut? Craig, where are you from?
I'm from Denmark.
I think I'm beginning to catch on. You are Schwesters?
We are sisters.
You're sisters, huh?
We are twins.
Twins, huh? Well, that's impossible. You don't look anything alike. Kelly, let me see you wiggle out of that one. Go ahead and remember everything you say may be held against you.
Well, we are not identical twins, but
see.
we are fraternal twins.
Fraternal twins,
Yes.
eh? What fraternity do you belong to?
We don't have to be brothers because we are fraternities. They also comes in sisters. We have got the same parents, and we are born at the same time.
I see. Well, what are you girls doing in Los Angeles? Are you having a vacation out here?
No, we are living here and working.
Oh, well, what are you? A couple of bookies? What sort of work do you do?
Well, I'm a professional cook.
Oh.
At present, I'm cooking for Mr. and Mrs. Earl C. Anthony.
Oh. Tell us about some of the dishes that you put together.
Well, the Anthonys, they're like my famous Danish hamburgers. You know, I make them just like a New Yorker cut. And
you never exhibited a cake at the Pomona Fair, have you?
No, I've never been in Pomona yet.
Oh.
I'm sorry to say I would like it.
Well, what else do you make besides this hamburger?
Well, then I make a famous dish you call for pie with nothing in it.
A pie with nothing in it, huh?
Yes.
Must take a lot of crust to make a pie like
that. I'll say it does.
Well, what is this pie exactly?
Well, I make an ordinary pie crust, and then I roll it out very thin and put
It's like strudel, huh?
That's right. And then I put in just a very thin layer of orange marmalade.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
well, send me one sometime, will you?
I sure will, Mr. Mark.
Do you have any other hobbies besides gangsterism? Cooking pies with nothing in it?
Well, I knit.
You knit?
Yes.
What do you knit? You knit what?
I've been knitting for Red Cross.
What do you do? You knit strudels and things like that?
Yes.
She knits...
sweaters.
Sweaters?
I've been knitting some 450 to 500 sweaters and socks and helmets and everything.
But it's always in the wartime. In the wartime.
Why do you do all this knitting? For the boys in the armed forces?
Yes.
Well, that's wonderful. That's a marvelous achievement. You've certainly made a lot of people happy. Now tell me, little apple strudel, what can I do to make you happy?
Well, if you think you're thinking of kissing me, you better not try.
Well, when the 63-year-olds start turning me down, I'm all washed up. I'm turning my body in the first thing in the morning. Well, it's been a very happy experience talking to you two girls, and I wish you lots of luck in the quiz. Because right now you have a chance to win a lot of money. You run your $20 into more than other couples, and you'll get a chance at the $1,500 question. I can't tell you how much you have to win, but Mr. Fenneman is going to remind our listeners.
Our second couple, the lady cab driver and the schoolboy, are ahead with $6.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected nursery rhymes and fairy tale characters. Here's your first question. Now, how much will you bet?
15. 18. Okay.
$18. You ready? Who bumped off Cock Robin with a bow and arrow?
Robin.
Talk it over.
Robin.
Who bumped off Cock Robin with a bow and an arrow? Who killed him? I'm sorry, it was the sparrow.
The sparrow.
Oh, gee. You now have $2.
All right, now don't be discouraged. You're going for $1,500 tonight, and that's the big prize. How much are you going to bet on your second question?
All of it.
Okay.
All of it?
$2.
$2. What was the name of the kid who could have his wishes granted by a big stooge merely by rubbing a lamp?
Aladdin.
Aladdin is right. Don't get discouraged.
Well, you're climbing again. You have $4.
Here's your third question. How much of the $4 will you try?
$4.
Yeah.
$4?
$4. What was the name of the kid who hit the sack with one sock on and one shoe on? With one sock and one shoe on.
My son John.
That's right. Diddle diddle dumpling, my son John.
You now have $8.
Went to bed with the stockings on. One shoe off and one shoe on. Diddle diddle dumpling, my son John. I know that, too. All right, now you have $8, and here's your last chance to be the other couples. How much will you bet?
All of it.
All of it.
All of it.
What fairy tale character parlayed a few prolific bean seeds into a fortune?
You make
Jack and the Beanstalk.
Jack and the Beanstalk is right.
Well, you wind up with $16, and that means that you sisters get the chance of the DeSoto Plymouth $1,500 question in just 1 minute.
And now here's a pretty girl with some news about a beautiful car.
Hello, I'm Wendy Barry, and I'm really excited about the new 1953 DeSoto that's now at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Honestly, it's the most beautiful car I've ever seen. You'll notice right away the wonderful styling of this distinguished 1953 DeSoto. The way the wide one-piece rear window curves around the back, and the really dramatic lines of the long swept-back fenders, and the lower, wider deck lid. Inside, too, this new DeSoto is just beautiful. They've taken rich, fashionable nylon and combined it with the gorgeous trim. Of course, there's DeSoto's full-power steering, too, which means that I can turn the steering wheel with just one finger. Honestly, I think this is the most beautiful, the finest car ever built. The distinguished 1953 DeSoto is available in 2 great series, the mighty 160-horsepower Fire Dome V8 and the brilliant DeSoto Powermaster 6. Tomorrow, see the distinguished 1953 DeSoto at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
And now, Groucho, here are the Danish twin sisters, all set for the DeSoto Plymouth $1,500 question.
All right. Well, girls, here's your chance to clean up now. Of course, you'll have to split this between you, but you're all in one family. Do you split the money?
Sure we do. Always.
Right. Here we go for $1,500. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you. Think carefully, and please no help in the audience. Are you ready? In 1660, a former tinker was imprisoned at Bedford, England, for unlawful preaching. During the 12 years of his incarceration, he wrote an unforgettable book, Pilgrim's Progress. For $1,500, what was his name? Talk it over. All right, girls, what is the answer you two have decided upon?
I'm sorry.
Nothing? Don't anyone want to guess?
No,
I'm sorry. The correct answer is John Bunyan.
And Groucho, you know we neglected something. They only made $16 in the quiz, so we can't let them go away with that.
Well, I'll give you one more question to bring the quiz up to 25. Are you ready? What do you mix with water to get soap suds?
Lye.
What?
Lie.
Lye.
That's a lie. It's soap, but soap suds anyway. So that means that the big question next week will be worth $2,000. Well, they lost the big money, but you won $25 in the quiz. And thanks and good luck and congratulations to both of you and to all of our contestants on the show tonight.
Thank you. Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at this same time for the Groucho Marx Show, when the big question will be worth $2,000. And don't miss Groucho's television show, also presented by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. And remember that the dealers who sell the distinguished 1953 DeSoto also sell the brilliant new Plymouth, the first truly balanced car in the low-priced field. DeSoto, Plymouth. 2 great new cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation.
And when you drive in, tell them Groucho sent you. Good night, folks, and remember, see the 1953 DeSoto.
Folks, here's a reminder from the National Safety Council. Ease up when there's a freeze up. You Bet Your Life, transcribed from Hollywood, is produced by John Goodell. Directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith. Music by Jerry Fielding. This is George Fenneman signing off for the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast.